Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Gachie Skyman TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. Yesterday, William Samuel Ruto was forced to respond to the invasion that took place in Kenya on the former president's land. While in Germany, the Kenyans who live in Germany were not happy, and they raised the issue, and the president was very uncomfortable with answering these questions. And he realized that there is a lot of backlash, there is a lot of anger in Kenya and even in the diaspora. There is anger towards the police, towards Gachagua, because currently Gachagua ndiye ambaye ni kama is acting president kulingana na katiba, wakati ambapo rais hayumo nchini. Yule mtu ambaye anafaa kulaumiwa, yule mtu ambaye anafaa kuchukua majukumu yote ni the deputy president. Kwa hivyo kile ambacho aliwaambia wananchi ambao wanaishi kule ughaibuni ni kwamba serikali italinda mali yote ya kibinafsi. Serikali imejitolea to ensure that all are equal before the law. But if you think that this thing went down well, you better look at a number of things. Yesterday, Rigathi Gachagua pulled down that meeting that he had posted with the police, the security guys, on the eve of Maandamano. He pulled down, and the question that unafaa kujiuliza, kwa nini afanya hivi? Indeed, when you look at the CS interior, so far, he has not uttered a word. Hajasema neno lolote. And he's the one who is expected to talk. Again, there's nowhere that he was involved in the planning of how to handle the Maandamano and the aftermath and everything. It was Gachagua and his Kikuyu leaders, MPs especially. Again, when you look at Moses Mudavadi is mute. The man for the Murebe nation hajatoa hata neno moja, na watu wanasubiri kusikia waone atasema nini. Gachagua has also been dead silent. Hajasema neno lolote lile tangu kule kuvamiwa kwa shaba kubwa sana Madalbasar la Northern city. Na kile ambacho tunaweza tukasema ni kwamba kimya kigi kina mshindo mkuu, maneno ya wahega. Why is Kidiki silent? Why is Musalia Mudavadi silent? Why is Ishongwa running from one media station to the other, trying to explain his position? Because what happened is that these guys did not get the support that they expected that they would get from the masses. In fact, they got a backlash. What followed is anger. What followed is accusation. What followed is bitterness. And when you look at this situation, kile ambacho tunaweza tukasema ni kwamba kuna hali ya mvutano, migogoro ambayo imetokea kutokana na kule kuvamia mashamba ya watu ya kibinafsi. Indeed, when you look at Mudavadi and when you look at Kidiki, they have something in common. They are cool. All said and done, they are cool guys. All said and done, they are gentlemen. They are gentle. But when you look at Rigathi Gachagua, when you look at Kimani Ichung'wah, when you look at Ndindi Nyoro, when you look at a number of these other guys, these guys are extremists. These guys are radicals. These guys can do anything. These guys, when you look at them, even the way they talk, kile ambacho wanaongea kwa fujo, wanajiita vijana wa Maumau. And Si mtu yote ambaye anaweza kujiita kijana wa Maumau. Kuna sababu ya kujiita watoto wa Maumau. This, if you ask me, is to tell you that wao wako tayari kung'ang'ana na wewe na kutumia mikakati yote, mbinu zozote zile. And you only need to listen to what they have been telling Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. They have been warning Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. They had been accusing him, even without evidence, that he's the one who has been financing the demonstrations in Nairobi and other places. So what happened is that there is a serious difference between these two groups, because they did not agree on what should happen. The reason why some of them are silent is because of the guilt. Mwenye mavi hujishuku. Ni ukweli wa mambo. Kwamba hawa watu wanajishuku. Hawa watu wanaangalia. Ukitaka kujua sana, angalia. Baada ya majizi kuvamia eneo fulani, wao hunyamaza, wataki kuongea. They don't want to talk. They want to listen to the ground. Wasikie kama kuna fununu zozote ambazo niweza kuwahusisha na ule uvamizi. And when you see some of these guys being silent, it's because of guilt. They are feeling guilty. They cannot be able to face the reality. And people knows who are behind this. Because it is very clear that these gangs were paid Kenya shillings 3,000 each around Mwihoko road, on Mwihoko Mwiki road, and they were foreign in a bus, and even the machete that they were using, in the pasos that were using, the pagas and the axe. Zile zana zote za vita ni kupewa walipewa. These gangs are known. They come from Ruto, they come from Githurai 45, they come from Dadora, they come from Kiambu, they come from Nyeri, and they are usually there for hire. And if you think this is the first time that this thing is happening, you better be informed. When Uhuru was about to give power, when he was about to hand over power to William Samoei Ruto, guys who invaded a road reserve and divided the land amongst themselves in broad and at night, by the way, and they had a political backing from Thika, by the way. The road is from Kigajo to Kameno, and if you travel along that road, you realize that there are some structures, some of them permanent, built along the road. And these guys did this, and the authorities were informed. The chief was informed, and the sub-county commissioner was informed. The case was taken to court. Up to date, nothing has ever happened. So it's not the first time. Indeed, I can show a video of some of these guys wakisema vile hata ukienda State House hakuna kitu ambacho wanaweza fanywa. So this is something that is very serious. It is not happening the first time. And for sure, these guys always have political backing. And they are mercenaries for hire. Wako tayari na huwa wanatumiwa na wanasiasa kutekeleza majukumu ya kihalifu. And there's nowhere you can take them. Again, when you look at Musalia Mudavadi is quiet because of his future interest. You know, Musalia Mudavadi believes that one day he'll be the president of the Republic of Kenya. He believes that if he supports what happened in Kenya, invasion of private land, and killing of and maiming of demonstrators, he may find it very rough to get the support of many Kenyans. Ndio sababu sasa unampata amenyamaza. Amenyamaza kama maji ya mtungi. Hawezi akasema jambo lolote. And for sure, Mudavadi is said that he is not in support of this. And when William Samoei Ruto realized what is happening, when he realized that this thing is dividing his party down the middle, when he realized that the people are not happy with this, that is when he was forced to talk. Otherwise, si kawaida kwa rais kuzungumzia maswala kama haya akiwa ughaibuni nchi ya kigeni. It is because of the pressure. In fact, a friend of mine in Germany told me that Kenyans in Germany were mad about this. They were mad that it could happen as the police watch. When we were talking with this person, that is the time I told the person that that is the time that the police were going to see what was done in the Northland farm. And this was happening almost after 2 days, which was shocking. And that is when I realized that people are not happy with what is happening. I don't know what you think about this situation, because it is something that is raising political temperatures. If it is repeated again, I'll tell you one thing: this country will never be the same again. If it is repeated in another farm, I believe it is telling people that we don't have a government. It is telling people that it is everyone on his own and God for us all, because you don't have a government. That is what you'll be telling them. And it is telling them to take the laws into their hands, which will be very, very dangerous. So William Samoei Ruto needs to call his guys in order, unnecessary utterances, inciting, because these guys who invaded the farm, who attacked Spectre East Africa in the industrial area, they are known. The evidence is there. Indeed, I realize some of these people, kuna watu wanawajua vizuri sana, wanajua hata kule wanaishi, na wengi wao ni majambazi sugu. And I think William Samoei Ruto need to call his troops into order. Again, this thing is creating fear. It is creating a lot of fear, even within the government. You know, some of these guys own huge tracts of land. If you go to Laikipia, if you go to the coasts, if you go to Nakuru, these guys owns huge tracts of land. And now they are feeling that the masses could retaliate. They are feeling that ni yale ya mwenzako akinyolewa paka chako maji. Kuna uoga, kuna hali ya ati-ati, kuna hali ya kuuliza what next. Kwa hivyo this thing also created fear, kwa sababu hawajui vile ambavyo familia Kenyatta ambayo ilianza kukutana jana ili kujadili matokeo haya, hawajui hii familia itafanya nini. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta is one person with a lot of influence. And one thing I like about him, he's usually very calm. Very, very calm. And he doesn't rush. When you look at his emotional intelligence, it is on a higher level. In fact, it cannot match with most of the leaders that we have in this country. So they are fearing what would happen. What will happen? Again, they have lacked the support of the masses. And this one went against their expectations. Indeed, there are many people who are sympathizing and empathizing with the Kenyatta's family. A man was telling me how he was sympathizing with Mama Ngina Kenyatta. A man was telling me how he was bitter when he realized that even the person who is the registered owner of that land is Mama Ngina Kenyatta. It's not even Uhuru Kenyatta. And people will always sympathize with old people. People will always sympathize with the underdogs. And this is what is happening. There's something that is scaring them. Hili ni jambo ambalo hawakuwa wakitarajia linaweza kutokea. Ni jambo ambalo hawakuwa wakitarajia kwamba linaweza kuwa na backlash. Because this is what happened. Because the condemnation by Kenyans and those in the diaspora, it is something that did not go down well, contrary to their expectations. Again, when you look at all this situation and you realize that the international community was rattled by what happened, indeed, none other than the African Union raised an alarm and told William Samoei Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, you have to have a dialogue. You must sit down and come up with a solution. The African Union is very much concerned with what is happening. The financiers of this government, that is the IMF, World Bank, I understand, they are very bitter with what happened. America also raised the issue. And again, when you realize that this thing was reported in all international media houses, it is something that sent fear down the spines of the organizers of these things. Because what we realize that these guys were facilitated by politicians. That is a fact. We cannot run away from it. And I also understand there is somebody, I think from Kiabu, a very popular musician, also was involved. And it was killing to see that the Kikuyus could rise against each other. The aftermath of this is that there will be a lot of mistrust. Indeed, a conversation has started amongst the Kikuyus why they are destroying their own properties, why they are destroying one of their own. In fact, somebody raised a question that this one cannot happen to Kalonzo Musyoka. This one cannot happen because the Kabas will defend their own. This one cannot happen to William Samoei Ruto because the Kalenjin nation will support their own son. This one cannot happen to Musalia Mudavadi because the Luhya nation will defend their son. This can only happen in Mount Kenya, where the hyena is eating its children. It's like a situation whereby when you don't defend your own, nobody will ever defend you. An old man was telling me yesterday, since time memorial, a Kikuyu has never invaded the farm to steal from his fellow Kikuyus. Kikuyus used to steal from the Maasai. They used to steal cow, and that is why we have Nyokabi, because Nyokabi is the name of Okafi, and that is why we have a Kikuyu methari, Shigekuyu Itiri Okafi. I don't know what you think, but if you ask me, the mission failed to achieve its objective. This is Gachie's Skyman TV, the Tribesman Black Africa. Remember to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and may you have a lovely day ahead. Bye-bye.